Hey everybody, I'm DanOfMostTrades. Welcome back to the third episode of my Lunar Magic tutorial series. In this episode, we'll be modifying your hack using patches with a program called Asar. I'll show you everything you need to know to insert a patch, as well as how to read the text files associated with your patch so that you know what you're doing. We're going to have infinite lives, we're going to fix some glitches, we're going to have checkpoints that are automatic after going through a pipe or a door. We're actually going to start off with the hardest one, which is the Retry System, made by World Peace, otherwise known as Instant Retry or Infinite Lives, all that fun stuff. And it might get a bit complicated, but I'll show you everything you need to know. We're going to go one step at a time. It's going to be great. One thing I need to start off with is make duplicates. So many duplicates of your ROM. Every time you insert a new patch, make a duplicate right before, so that if something goes wrong, all it takes is one little text error and the whole thing's broken. Make a duplicate of your ROM before every patch you ever install. Also, I would like to say I've been kind of out of the scene for a while, so in the description I'll have a little timestamp so you can jump forward to the end of the video, and I'll kind of talk about where I've been, what my plans are, and where I'll be next. While we're at it, also keep in mind that the description will have a full index of all the different chapters of this episode, so feel free to jump around to whichever one you need. I'll also have the links for patches and software in the description next to whatever chapter we're on. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to point you in the direction of the download link for Asar. It's the program that we'll use to insert patches into our ROM. We're going to start off with a folder that just has your ROM in it. I've made a duplicate and I've renamed mine to tutorial.smc. It's just a vanilla copy of Super Mario World. Next, download Asar. It should be the first link in the description. And by the way, all the links I'll be providing will be directly through the SMWCentral website. These are trusted and secure links, so everything is going to be perfect. If you don't know how to extract a zip file, I recommend something called 7-zip. It's like WinRAR, but it's free and it doesn't keep asking you to pay money for it. I don't use whatever you have. So we're going to grab everything from here, we're going to copy it, and we're going to paste it into our main folder. I'd like to explain that having all of your patch files in the same folder as your ROM hack that you're patching makes things a lot easier, a lot more fluid. The only hard part is keeping everything organized, but this is the way I like to do it. Everything's dated, it won't get too messy, everything's going to be fine. Before we do anything else, we're going to double click Asar. I'm going to show you what it does. So here's Asar. It's going to ask me for the patch name. I'm going to type it in, press enter. Then it's going to ask me for the name of my ROM. I'm going to type that in, press enter, and we're done. It's a very simple program, so that's why we're making our setup simple so that everything works perfectly for this program. Next, we're going to grab the second link in the description, which is the Retry System, made by World Peace. I think it's really the only retry system used right now on the entire SMW community. Every Kaizo hack has this, except for some of the older ones, like Grand Poo World 1. And so we need everything from here except for, I don't need the README. So I'm just going to deselect that one, and I'm going to copy all this right here into my folder. And first I'm going to show you what the game normally does without this patch. Alright, I'm in my test level, and I die. The jingle plays, takes a while, brings us back to the main overworld, and we have 4 lives left. So next we're going to implement this patch. We're not going to do any coding. It's just going to be very straightforward, and we'll already have an effect without having to modify anything at all. So here we go. We double click on Asar, the patch name. Let me show you this. There's 3 files associated with the retry patch, and within the README of this patch, it tells you which one you want to do. Effectively, this is the main one, retry.asm. This is the one that we want, and these other 2 files are kind of extensions where we'll modify things actually in this one, in retry table, a little bit later on, and by patching retry, it kind of grabs data from there. So we'll always be using retry.asm in Asar. So here we go, retry.asm. Enter ROM name, tutorial.smc. Assembling completed without problems. Cool. Press any key to continue. Here we are back in my ROM. I've got 99 lives, so that's a good start. We're going to walk around for a bit. I'm going to die. And here we have our retry prompt. You might see this in a lot of hacks, and it's what's default through this patch. So we'll press retry, face to black, and we're right back in the level. We still have 99 lives. So effectively right now we have the retry system and we have infinite lives. By the way, if you run into any problems, I'll have a section down in the description that you can jump forward to, which will be troubleshooting. There are a lot of things that can go wrong or not work the first time, and I want to show you guys some ways to find a solution to these problems, and maybe actually show a few solutions, kind of explain very common causes, but also show you, like, if you're at a loss, what you can do to find the solution. So next, we're actually going to dig a little bit deeper, and I'm going to show you the README file of this retry system. Here's my original folder with the retry stuff. But the main thing that you're supposed to get from this file right here is this one, to insert. So asar.exe, great, we did that. Retry.asm, we did that. Your ROM.smc, we did that. If you scroll through here, there's some patch notes of changes and whatnot. If your patch comes with the README, 100% recommend read through it. But I'll show you one more thing. So next what we're going to do is we're going to open up this retry.asm. I'm going to show you some things inside this file. By the way, the text editor I use is called Notepad++. It's like regular Notepad. It keeps everything organized and you can have cool colors for it. So it's really easy on the eyes. So what I want you to see is every time you see a semicolon like this, the code after it is just a comment. It's descriptions for us, the user, to better understand what's going on. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make it so that you have instant retry in your hack. And we're going to open up retrytable.asm. And I want you to see there's a whole bunch of those semicolons. And so we have a whole bunch of notes that tell us what all these things are. For example, right here, lose lives is set to 0. And if it's set to 0, let's see, you don't lose lives when you die. But if you set this to 1, like that, and then we insert the patch that way, you would lose your lives just like vanilla. And you can read through all these other options here, like counterbreak Yoshi and counterbreak power up. Effectively, this patch by default is kind of made for Kaizo, where when you finish a level with a mushroom or Yoshi, then by the next level, you're back to small Mario. It makes it so that when you finish the level, it gets rid of that. But if you set these values to 0, to vanilla values, like this, right? Then if you finish a level with a power-up or Yoshi, then you keep it. So I set those back because I don't want to change anything like that. And we're going to get to instant retry. So scroll down until we see our first table of values. And what this means by a table is that this is actually every level in the game that you can access from the overworld. So right here it says this line is levels 0 through F. So we've got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then it goes 0A, 0B, 0C, D, E, F, like that. And right now they're all set to a 0 value, which means follow the global setting. Follow the global setting default prompt type. Let's go ahead and press Control F and type in, let's type in prompt. What is that? Prompt type. We're going to find it. Here we go. Oh, so this is way up top. This is one of the settings here. And it's set to 1, and it tells us, we're going to read through these prompts really quick. This is instant retry right here, option number 2. Look at this. The fastest option, yes, is automatically chosen, and by yes it means retry. In this option, you can press start, then select to exit the level. Very useful. So what you can do is you can set this to 2, and we can save it. Or if there are specific levels that you want to have retry in, but not in every level, you'll just find the level. For example, I'm using level 1, ID 001 right here, and I can find it. I know this is 0 and this is 1, and I'm going to change this to value 2, and we save it. Oh, hold on, wait. Okay, so these values, look at the 3 is the good one. 3 is the one that we want, but when we're scrolled back up here to the types, we're shifted down by 1 value. And I think the reason why we are shifted down 1 value is because 0 here is like follow the global setting, but we don't have that option up here, so it just goes 0, 1, 2, 3 instead of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you know that you want the same type of retry system for the entire game, then all you want to do, default prompt type, change this number right here, and we're going to use, yeah, it's 2. Great, we're going to use 2. Now the thing is, actually this is hilarious. I didn't know about that default prompt type. So in my hacks, what I would do is I would go through individually each level, and I would change it to 3, and I'll change it to 3, and it was very, very annoying. So let's go ahead and change all these to 0, save ourselves a whole lot of time, and now we're all happy. So just to recap, we're leaving this table the same because they're all using 0, 0, meaning follow the global settings. And we went to the global settings right here, and we set this to 2, which is the good one, where it chooses yes automatically. So this is instant retry. And now we're going to save. We're going to open up Asar once again. We're going to type in retry.asm, and we're going to type in the name of our ROM. No problems. All right, so we've inserted the patch and reloaded our ROM, and let's die and see what happens. And there we go. No retry prompt kills us, and automatically we're brought back to the start of the level. And just to touch on this one more time, this whole table, like let's say you wanted the regular retry prompt without the instant retry on a level, you would just put 1, and you would click save, and then you would insert your patch once more. I do have a link in the description right now that says all of the levels that can be accessed from the overworld, and you'll notice that it's these same values here. The rest of the levels can only really be accessed by doors and pipes, but effectively, let's say we're in level 1 and we go through a door and it brings us to level 30, which is not on this list, then those retry settings will still kind of be routed through this level 1. It'll have the same properties. Even if you go through a door, it's just going to keep using those same properties. So in this table, it always relates to your base level. Now next, we're going to do multiple checkpoints, particularly how to have a checkpoint after going through a pipe. So scroll down a little bit, you'll find multiple Midway settings right here. And so you're going to find that value, let's say C9, for example. So we're going to find C right here, and we go C0. So this is C0, C1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we know this is the one we want to modify. And we're going to look at these settings up here. So 0, 0 is vanilla. Sublevel entrances, this is the good one. Actually, I have an example set up. So it's going to be level 1, which is 0, 1. We're going to do 3. And I have a door that brings me to 30. So we're going to use this one, 30, right here. So these are both going to be set to 3. We're going to save. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what will happen right now. Then we're going to insert this patch, and I'll show you the changes that it makes. Okay, so we're in our test level. This is before applying the patch that uses the special Midway settings. So first we're going to die regular, spawns us here. Then we're going to grab this, we're going to die. And it should spawn me at my midway point. Great. And we're going to go through this pipe here. And so I have a starting point here, and I have another midway bar. But my midway bar was already eaten. I got this is a visual glitch right here. That was my bad. But what I want you to see is that I'm no longer able to grab this midway bar here because I've already grabbed it in the other stage. And when I die, I come back to my midway point, which is what happens when I grab this one. So, and next we're going to apply our patch one more time. And now I'll show you the differences. Okay, here we are back in the stage. I'll die. Oh, that's right. I changed my settings. Oh, I did not mean to change that. Retry.asm, tutorial.smc. Okay, now we're back. I feel like a doof. But that happens a lot. And then next, we're going to grab this, and we're going to die, and it should spawn me to the right. Good. But now we're going to go through this pipe. And so here's the fun part, all right? I went through the pipe, I'm gonna die, and now it spawns me here. And next, we're gonna grab this midway point, which by the way, see how it's here this time? That's a good sign. But now when I grab it, I spawn at this other midway point. This is the midway point of level 30. Oof. Now the only downside is that this is very kind of jarring on the eyes, so you're gonna have to go through and find out which levels you want to activate with checkpoints and put a 3 in all those values. I can't even see, here it is. So that's the only downside, but besides that, it's gonna work great. It's going to do exactly what you want it to. We're going to keep moving, and the next patch is another very common patch for Kaizo. It's called Nuke Status Bar. Should be the next link downloadable. So we're going to put this in here, and no need to show what it looks like before patching this because, because you've already seen what I've been playing with. So we'll type in Nuke Status Bar. Oh, actually, now's a good time to show you that you can actually click and drag like this. And then the ROM name like this. No problems, very nice. So we're back in the game, and as you can see, everything up here is gone. The score, the timer, your coins, it's all gone. And the reason why this is so common in Kaizo hacks, not only is it useless in most Kaizo hacks, but you know, because lives and everything is disabled, but also you really kind of want that extra screen space. You want to give that player those extra visuals to kind of see, you know, what comes next, what's falling from the top of the screen and all that. So very generally useful. Next, we're going to implement 2 patches that are both glitch fixes. The first one is something called double spin jump hitbox glitch, I think might be the best way to describe it. And it's most common on spinies, for example. If you have 2 spinies that are close to each other and you spin jump on them at the same time, you're actually likely to die. So we're going to jump back into the level, and I'll see if I can make it happen. It's just, it never got patched by Nintendo. Hey, there we go. If you spin jump on, ooh, there it is. If you spin jump on 2 things, there it is, once again. This was never patched by Nintendo, because it's very rare to happen in vanilla. But in the Kaizo universe, we're more likely to have, you know, strange situations of sprites. And so I know it might not seem like the thing that will happen in every Kaizo hack, and it most likely won't, but this is still one of those patches that if somebody dies like this, they'll be very upset, and your players will be very happy if you implement this glitch fix. Alright, so here we are again. So this one's called like spin fix or something like that. It's a really long, obnoxious name, and I want to show you what I did. So I actually renamed it, which didn't break anything. In some situations, like this retry stuff, I want to say it's here, retry table. Yeah, so it will look for retry table.asm in your files, and if you renamed retry table, it won't be able to find it. But for this one, it's a standalone patch, and everything's fine if you change the name, so I changed it to spinfix.asm. Long story short, I recorded footage for this thing like twice, and and all my audio got cut out because OBS wasn't feeling my microphone. Anyway, the point is, we're just going to change that name, make it something simple, so you can find it, so you can identify it, or if you're like me, you like to manually type this stuff in. So spinfix.asm, ROM name, tutorial.smc. And here we are back in the ROM, now with the applied patch, and let's see if we can get Mario to die again. If it worked correctly, which it's a very good patch, I don't think we'll die. Now, the next patch, this is going to fix 2 things. So here's the first thing that it fixes. Here he is wall jumping off of, let's say it's like a pixel on a cinder block, and then we'll see it fixed, where he can no longer do that, and he can no longer bounce on these. So this is just one of those quality of life fixes. So we're going to go ahead and copy this, put it over here, and I'm going to rename it wall clip fix. Wall clip fix.asm tutorial.smc, and we're good. So next, we're going to run through some troubleshooting and problems that you might have, and I'll show you ways to fix it. For example, here we're going to do retry ASM. This is a problem that I don't know exactly why, but this has happened to me more than once. And it says retry ASM error file letters.bin wasn't found. And I was like, what the heck is letters.bin? It turns out that letters.bin is just one of the files that came with the Retry system. And let's say you accidentally forget to put it in your folder, then that retry patch won't work. This is another very common error. Retire.asm. Retire.asm wasn't found. You're gonna be like, what happened? It was broken. Oh, you spelled it wrong. So, very common error. Double check your typos, very important. It'll help you a lot of trouble down the way. Let's be practical. Let's say we have an issue that we're really not sure how to find. It's something that's maybe uncommon. There's nothing about it in the notes. Best thing to do is type in SMWCentral. And let's say you're experiencing a black screen. I think that's a great example. Because this did happen to me a couple times. And so what you're gonna get is a bunch of different threads, forums of people having the same exact problem that you had. And we'll click on one, we'll read through it, and we'll see if this is the same problem that you had. I'm gonna save a little time right here. I read through this one already, and the guy kind of figured out his problem on its own. And actually, more often than not, that's kind of something that happens. You'll read through a forum, and then they'll explain the solution, and you'll be like, oh my gosh, I didn't even need to ask anybody. I just found the problem that somebody else already had, and there's a solution. Okay, so this is one problem that I had. I did not start a new save file after implementing these changes, and here's what happens. I try to die, and it brings me to this level that you can't get out of. Well, I guess you technically can with start select. But the moral is, the way to fix that is just start a new save file. I'm also going to delete that file, because I never want that to happen again. I will say this, more often than not, starting a new save file will save the majority of the issues. I don't know why. And speaking of this, let's say there's a patch that you want to find, and you're curious if it already exists. Say if you're wondering if you can extend the level names on your patch, right? It's a real thing. And here you'll find, extended overworld level names. It's actually a really cool patch. Yeah, look at this. It lets you have 2 lines of words. It's really useful. Really, really useful. Highly recommended. Alternatively, on the SMW website, click on SMW patches here on the right, and you get access to 497 patches. You can read through all of these and be like, that's a really good idea. I want to use that. What I do recommend, go ahead and click featured. Check this out. Here's extended overworld level names. There it is. Excellent. And there's another one, no more sprite tile limits. This helps with visual glitches you might have. Again, super useful. Going to save you a ton of headaches. Look at that. 1 or 2 players only. You can disable player 2 if you're making a Kaizo or something. It's awesome. I highly recommend scroll through these. You might find something that you really like, and it might make your game closer to your vision. Now that's really all I have to teach for this particular lesson. So now I'll just kind of explain where I've been for a while and say what my plans are. I recently got a new job, and this is actually really cool, but it's the first job I've ever been paid to be on a computer all day. A lot of you guys might not know this, but I was working on Java, trying to make apps, just teaching myself, and then I found the SMW community, found Lunar Magic, started making games, and from there I taught myself how do you complete 250, 300 objectives and stay sane. I developed ways to list my objectives and kind of have a daily goal of what I wanted to do, and from there I learned work ethic. I also learned how to manage big projects like that. I did some ASM coding a little bit here and there. I made my own music, and I was able to type out MIDI so that all my music was in my Super Mario World hack, Robfather World. you know, I talk about it to my friends, and my friend thought I'd be perfect for this job and hired me. So I'm super happy about that. Of course, there's more to it than just, hey, Mario got me a job, and you know, I'm like super thankful. But still, I just want to share that that's kind of how the journey was from my perspective. So the good news is that this is a Monday through Friday, you know, like a 9-to-5 type of job. So it means my schedule is a lot more predictable than it was before. As soon as I learn to manage my my time and energy, I will be trying to stream twice a week and put out a new video every 2 to 3 weeks. I don't think it's going to be easy. I'm going to first shoot for one video a month and one stream a week, and we'll see how that works. For the next video, I want to do some hex editing, and for this, I'm going to teach you how to make your thwimps jump faster, womps rise up back faster after hitting the ground, bullet bill speed. Although it is a very delicate system, and it's we're gonna be modifying things in a way that's not recommended, but it is very fun, and I do want to share that with you guys. And then later on, I do want to make a video of how to port music. We'll be using Fruity Loop Studio as a visual, and we'll just be typing right into Notepad++. So, thanks for watching. Feel free to leave any follow-up questions you might have in the description. Nope. In the comments, and I'll get back to you. Oh, and of course, I have been working on Robfather World 2. I'm making slow but steady progress now with my new job. I got some really exciting stuff from D2 to the 4th, some custom ASM that I am so excited to showcase. Level design is done. Right now, just a matter of polishing, inserting secrets, and making and porting the music. So it's just like, it's the last steps, and I'm getting so close, and I'm really excited to release it. I just you know, hope you guys are all patient for the release. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be speedrun friendly, but it's also going to be the hack that you play after Quickie 1 and 2, maybe Baby Kaizo, to get you ready for the harder hacks. But again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Is that what people say? I'll see you in the next video? I won't see any of you in the next video. I'll see you in the comments of the next video.